Guys and dolls. So basically, this is one of the moments when I wasn't expecting to do this. This isn't planned. This is part of who I am, part of what I bring to use. This is the rough and the bad that comes with the good, and part of what I go through and what I have to deal with, and how quick things can change, and within a space of an hour, I'm so angry, I'm shaking, and I'm ready to break down, like distraught, and it's like, to a lot of people, it's ridiculous, you know what I mean? But it's to me, it's so difficult. It is so difficult, and I suppose it's injustice. It's the big person stamping down on the wee person. It's, I don't know what it is, but I'll try and explain to you what I'm going through and why I'm going through it, because it's a way of me trying to fix myself here and trying to get myself where I'm heading to in my head, and it is really difficult because everybody suffers around me and it's not fair, and it's like my heating's breaking down, and it keeps breaking down. So 5 years ago they put a new heating system in, and it broke down. And it broke down and it broke down. And they said to me, "We're going to have to rip all your floorboards up." And we just put floorboards down. We just put all new flooring down to make it easy access for the cars with a wheelchair moving about upstairs and downstairs. And the thought of getting it all ripped out in the ring was a nightmare, you know what I mean? So we had that to contend with. That was the last thing they said, And then, my mother-in-law died, then my wife died. And the heating packed in. And I went without heating for 4 years because I just couldn't cope with it anymore. I couldn't cope with making the phone calls. I couldn't cope with complaining. And just like where I am, this is what happens, because you go on the phone, and it's even the way that the message when it starts, they tell you it's going to be recorded and all the rest of it. And it's just a smarmy attitude. It's just the way, it's not a nice voice. It's not a nice, friendly voice. You always think, do they do it on purpose? You know what I mean? And is it just me? It feels like this. So you get over initial, and then you're telling them, and then, you're trying to deal with these people. And I've been dealing with this. My family has been dealing with these people, West Lothian Council, for the last 25 years. And it started whenever my mother-in-law got AMS. And my father-in-law needed a ramp put in for wheelchair access, and they said they couldn't do it. So they said she would need to go in the care. And there was nothing wrong with her apart from she couldn't move. Her muscles were deteriorating, but her head was still there. And so Billy, my father-in-law, built the ramp himself, because there's an incline to our garden. So there's a ramp right up. Nice where there is. But he then died of a heart attack a year after building it. And then whether that's to do with that or not, he was an old man. He shouldn't have had to build it. I was in prison at the time, He done it on his own. And I will show you it. And you will be like, wow, So then, whenever my father-in-law died, me and my wife lived across the road. And we were back and forth because she had Caroline. And then they were complaining to us because she was hitting the Caroline button, because the Caroline button goes straight to some operations room, and then we've got to come over, hit the button on the wall, say that we're here and everything's okay. But the fact that she was hitting it 50 times a day and she was using it as a call service, because she was deteriorating, they were wanting to put her in the car, and we were like, we'll move in. So we moved in, so she wasn't hitting the button. So we were there. Somebody was always there. So then that was going all right. And we had all sorts of problems with cars. People that didn't care, that were working in the care system, caused us all sorts of problems as a family. A young family that were just thrown into this, you know what I mean? And then she needed so basically what really pushed us to move, the final thing was the move in, was they told us that she needed to get feed through her stomach. She needed a machine to put feed and water in gradually during the day. And in West Lothian, they don't allow their carers to do that. So a family member has to do it. If you're not able to do that, then your loved one has got to go into a home. So again, they tried to get the house, but again, by trying to convince us to put a woman who did not want to go into a home into her home. It was as if she didn't exist. Because she wasn't able to move, it was as if she didn't exist. Honest to God. So then we moved in and we gave up everything. I went to St. John's, the local hospital, the big hospital in Livingston. I learned how to use a machine. The nurses put me through a training thing, learned how to use a machine. I'm only out of jail a year, right? So I'm learning to use the pump, how to put water in, how to put feed in. Then the medication's got to go through the tube in the belly, and there was all sorts of problems. Like on New Year's, she pulled the tube out of her belly, and it was horrific. And we couldn't even get anybody to come and replace it. I had to YouTube it and learn Google search it how to replace, because we had a replacement, but it was always nurses that came and changed it. It was in our medical drawer, and I had to learn off the internet how to put this in, how much water, what way to put the syringe, what way to turn it, to lock it, so it's a wee balloon, so the tube goes through the hole. And it's terrifying. It is absolutely terrifying doing something like this. You know what I mean? So all sorts of problems come from family members being left to do medical care, But we had no choice. They wanted this house. They wanted her in the care, So then Wilma dies. And me and Sammy were like, we didn't want to stay here. I didn't want to stay here. I had enough. Honestly, 6 years of everyday care, not knowing about respite until near the end. It was like when we were really done and exhausted and like 24 hours every single day having to be on your toes, maybe not as bad as that, but 12 hours every single day, doing feed, doing water, doing medication, make sure she's okay. We went through the transition of smoking, then she had to stop smoking because she was losing the power of her good arm, and then we had to try and get her, went on the vapes were filling their lungs full of liquid or whatever. I don't know, the vape was just going back in the liquid, and there was all sorts of problems. So then Wilma died, and then we were, because there's a 3-floor lift, there's house, we were like, we'll give the house up if you want to put somebody disabled in, you know what I mean? No, there's nobody else disabled, we're putting the house back the way it was, ripping everything out. So we thought, oh, God, man, we're not moving, this is a family home. My wife was brought up in this house, what I mean? She moved here, I think, from Glasgow when they were 7. She was 7 and spent all her life here, grew up here. This is her life's here, her life was here. So, so straight away, after that, COVID came. Sammy got COVID, gone. Right, Sammy's gone. I'm on my own. I'm distraught. I am distraught. You know what I mean? I'm totally lost. I've got no heating. My heating's packed in. They came and capped my gas because they don't care. They just, if you're not using your heating, we'll cap it. They came and capped it. 3.5, 4 years, no heating. I don't even know how I managed that. I really don't know how I managed it. I really don't. I have no clue. And then I wasn't paying my rent because I stopped working and everything, you know what I mean? Because I was losing it. I was getting in the fights. And it was causing my mate who I was working for problems for his business, And I lost my way. I lost my way completely, you know what I mean? And at the same time, I had the problem with the kitchen, a hole in the kitchen. It turned out that there was joists. The joists were gone. It was rotting underneath the floor. I lifted the laminate flooring up on my floor. The only thing holding anybody up was the laminate floor. And once I took the laminate flooring away, there was no floor. 4 years with no floor in a kitchen. 4 years waiting for them to give me a kitchen that I could eat and live. A house that I could live in even. 4 years. They came out and they covered the wee hole, the bigger hole. That board went through. They came out and they put a bigger board over the bigger board. It started going through. West Lothian Council. So, while I'm dealing with all that, they're coming out and they're telling me everything that I want to hear. They're smiling at me. Yeah, we'll help you. I'm telling them, trying to give them a hint. I like what I've been through. I know I come across angry and I'm not normal and that, but there's a reason for that. But yeah, taking photographs of everything. I'm thinking, oh, brilliant. Somebody's doing something, getting some help. And it was to take me to court, to evict me. Fucking evict me. While I'm going through that. So I struggle. I really, really struggle. mentally dealing with West Lothian Council because everything I've been through. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart because I know where I was. I know how hard it was. I know how vulnerable I was. And I know how they behaved towards me. I had council people that come round and check all the gardens. I meant to help people calling me an arsehole. The window cleaner heard it, was phoning me and I didn't hear my phone. You know what I mean? Knocked my door and I didn't even hear my door knock to tell me there's bad mouthing you. These are professionals. Bad mouthing me. Because I slammed the door on them. Because I'm sitting with no kitchen and they're moaning at me about my garden. You know, they tell me to put stuff in my garden so they can take it away. Last year, they come back this year and go, what's that? And I'm like, it's the stuff you told me to put out last year. And then they're like looking at me as if I'm nuts. And I'm like, you took photographs of it. Check your photographs. Go back into your... Because they take photographs of everything. With me, they do. That's what they do. And it's so intrusive. And they make me feel... And it's like... Nobody should go through what I've been through. You know, there's no care. There's absolutely no care. And could you imagine a weaker man or a weaker woman going through what I've been through? Where they would be right now if they... I'm lucky I've got that bit of strength. But it's so difficult. It is so difficult just phoning to ask them to come out and fix my heating. It is so difficult. So difficult to keep calm. You know, because as soon as you lose it, you lose everything. You know, they won't come out and fix my heating. That guy comes out and says anything and I lose it. He's off. And they won't come back. I'll be sitting here freezing for the rest of the year. And that's the way it is. There's no interaction. There's no, you know, it's all, as soon as you cross a line, as soon as you raise your voice, that's it. Hi to people with mental health. Deal with that today, you know. And would the West Lothian Council treat me exactly the same if I was maybe of a different origin? That's another question, you know. And then when I get my kitchen, because I've got to ask these questions. Of course I'm going to ask these questions. I feel like I'm being victimised, you know what I mean? I'm feeling like, what have I done? What have I done to deserve this? You know, I haven't done nothing wrong. I haven't had one complaint. I've been here for 20 years. Not one neighbour has ever complained about me. I'm friends with everybody. Every single neighbour around me are my friends. And we've got nothing but respect for each other. I've never caused any problems in this community. Not one single problem. Yes, I've had fights, but these are men. These are pub guys that are into fighting. You know, that's different. I'm talking about community. I'm talking about being an asset to a community. You know, I've never caused anybody any problems. There's not one person around here can look at me and say, he's not been an asset to the community in one way or another. You know, and I'm not saying I'm a good do-gooder. It's not like that. But I don't cause problems. You know, there's no reason for them to treat me like the way they treat me. You know. And then when I finally do get my kitchen, you see what they done. They took all my cupboards away and left me one cupboard in a 3-bedroom for me and my family. One cupboard on the wall. I've seen more cupboards and walls in flats. I've seen 1-bedroom houses around here with more cupboards on their walls. But that's just their way. Another way at getting at me because they don't like my attitude. They don't like that I speak back to them. They don't like the way I speak. I phoned them up one time and they're like, oh, I just got sick of hearing the recording. And I just said it like, because she was like lying through her teeth. I asked for a cooker. I asked for help to get a cooker, you know. And, oh, we don't help you with that. You know? That's not nothing to do with us. You know what I mean? I already got knocked back by the way you're meant to go and do it. You need hardship. And one of them ones got knocked back for that because I wasn't just out of prison or I wasn't this or I didn't fit that. All the different criteria that, you know, that most people would lie and say yes. You know, certain thing or, you know, the fact that I have a baby, just had a baby, didn't want anybody to help me to get a kitchen, to get a cooker. You know what I mean? I'm not complaining, right? I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, guys, there's other people out there worse off than me. And if this is the kind of behaviour that you're getting from local councils towards their citizens, towards the most vulnerable people in their society, what chance have we got? What chance have they got? My heart breaks for the men and women that are on their own, who don't have family, who the council are most likely walking all over. walking all over them. God help them. Honestly, God help them. You know, how many people have the council pushed out of their homes so they could get the home back? Because that's what's happened to my family on 3 different occasions. Blackmailed. You can't have a ramp, you need to go into your home. If you don't come in and look after your mother-in-law, she's going to have to go into your home. If you don't give your mum-in-law, your mother-in-law the medication and everything through the tube, she needs to go into the home to get it. You know? And then finally, when I'm on my own, I've got nobody left, they try to evict me. You know, they let me get into £16,000. Not a whisper, not a clue. Because my head's gone, remember, right? I haven't got a clue where I am or what's going on. I don't want to be here. I'm dicing with death maybe 3-4 times a day. I'm putting a bullet in a gun and swirling it 3 or 4 times a day. You know, it wasn't my time. That's all I'm going to say about that. It wasn't my time. It's difficult. It's difficult having mental health, having problems with your mental health, having problems communicating, having problems dealing with people saying no, having problems with authority, you know. And it goes across the board. It's at the doctors, it's at the dentist, it's every, you know, people with mental health have problems with every professional, you know. You raise your voice and the doctors are on the phone, they put the phone down. They blacklist your call, you know. They have systems there. The phone call I had with the council when they weren't, and I said to them, well, you know, because she backtracked and she started, I was like, you just said that, I'm recording this call. That was it. That was it. As soon as I said that, oh my goodness. You would have thought I'd have said something like, I've got a suicide vest on. Honest to God, like. And then after that, when I make other phone calls and I give my date of birth and my name, the phone goes dead. Every single time when I'm trying to make a social fund claim or something like that, the phone goes dead. So I'm blacklisted because I record calls. They are aware, so they do not have to take my calls now because I record calls. Can you see? And I wasn't even recording a call. I just said it, just because I knew. You know, I was just fucking at that bit. I couldn't swear. I couldn't do anything else. I was so angry, you know, and it's so difficult. It's so difficult, like, and when I go to the doctors, they just want to give me tablets. They just want to fill me full of tablets, antipsychotic and all that. But I've been offered them all. And I'm okay. There's nothing wrong with me. This is normal. Surely this is normal. Surely if a man gets treated like this, after what I've been through, and them knowing that, and they still treat me like this, and they still don't care. And I know I'm an adult, a big ass adult, should be able to look after myself. I understand that. But some things in life are just difficult for some people, you know. Managing and coping is just difficult, you know. It's the phone call, thinking about making the phone call. Like, I asked Katie to do it, you know what I mean? But Katie shouldn't have to do it. You know, she's doing her own stuff, you know what I mean? She's got her own life to lead as well, you know. She's not there to look after me. So I've got to make that phone call, you know, and I know it's so difficult. That's so difficult. You know, because I shouldn't have to make the phone call. You know what I mean? It's non-stop. It's absolutely non-stop. You know. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to feel better after this or not. But I had to bring it. It was either that or fucking cry. Honest to God, guys, I'm fucking don't know what's wrong with me. Just went straight down. I came up because the heating was back on. Last night it was cold and everything. You know what I mean? And I was like, but fuck it, you know what I mean? Baby wasn't here, no big deal, you know what I mean? And then this morning it kicked back on again. And I was all happy and done the live, and then bang, it's off again, you know what I mean? And then I just started thinking, I need to phone the council, don't I? I need to do this, I need to get this done, you know? And what's going to happen? Are they going to rip all the floorboards up, you know what I mean? Because that's the kind of thing, because now they know that's what's putting me off and what I'm hating, you know what I mean? Everything was fine until they put this new system in. And it's never worked since. You know, and they just keep it coming out. And then, you know, instead of just manning up, they threaten you. They know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. And we need to rip all your floorboards up. Fucking hell, okay, man, you know what I mean? I'll just go without eating. Jeez, oh, but you know, I know it's a wee bit overacting, but We're all different. We all react differently when whether that's overreacting or not. It's a reaction to an action. There's no two ways about it. And I can't explain it, but it's bad. It's really, really bad, and it does affect people, and it shouldn't be like that. It, the councils should have departments for people. The doctors should have departments for people with mental health, you know. Um, any type of PTSD, complex PTSD, any ex-army, ex-soldiers, anybody who's been through any sort of abuse, whether it's sexual or physical, no matter what age you are, you know, if you struggle, there should be people that are recognising that. They should take more measures and reach out and make a wee bit more effort for some people in society, you know. And it's the ones that they're constantly going out to. It's the ones that maybe got the rubbish in the garden, you know. The ones that don't have gas, the ones that are sitting cold every winter. You know, it's not hard to work out who needs the most help, guys. But they're just being ignored. They're just being ignored. And everything goes down from there on in, you know. Some people are really lonely in this world, you know. And then sometimes the only people that they have is the council. It's the closest thing they've got to family, believe it or not, for some people, you know. People are coming out, you do the gas and the checks a couple of times a year. Could be the only people some people see, you know. And it worries me that the council are who they are. These are the people that are dealing with the most vulnerable people in our society. Things need to change, guys. And at the same time, as I say this council are flying a Ukrainian flag outside their offices. And I don't know anybody who agrees with that. It's just the council. What's their Ukrainian flag doing in Livingston, in Scotland? You know? This is our council. This is the Nick of Great Britain. This is the left wing. This is the far left. This is the SNP and this is the Labour Party, guys. This is what happens when you have governments like this in charge. This is what happens when we have a country that's overrun in population and there's not enough money or care or time to spend on anybody apart from people that are scared to say no to. And I'm clearly not one of them people that they're scared to say anything to. I'm Freedom Dad. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I'm sorry it's a wee bit thingy, but, you know, I bring the bad with the good. You know, it's not always good. This is part of it. This is the side you won't see. I've kept myself as calm. I'm trying to make sure I don't break down. I can feel my head's like fucking, it's not a sore head, but it's like a wave wanting to come out, you know, and I'm constantly trying to keep it back. And it is a lot of anger. The emotion is mostly anger, but, you know, because I've got baby lucky and everything, you know, that emotion's got to go somewhere. And if I don't lash out, then I've got to cry. It's one or the other. It's the only thing. I'm learning this myself. You know, this is a new Freedom Dad. You know, this is quite emotional, getting quite emotional. Because I'm talking about stuff. I'm bringing stuff to the forefront. I'm analysing myself. I'm looking at myself, and it's difficult. It's difficult because I do feel sorry for myself sometimes because I don't deserve what I go through. It's non-stop. It's non-stop. Sometimes I think I've had a curse put on me. I really do, you know, from day one. And, or I've been somebody bad in another life, you know. I don't go through life creating problems. I promise you, I'm a really nice guy. I'm not a bully. I don't act tough. I don't act hard. I don't take the piss out of people. I don't laugh at people, you know. I don't find an awful lot of stuff funny. I'm not that type of guy. I'm quite a serious person, you know. And I see the good in people, and I've always been like that. I don't deserve the treatment I get, but I think some of the treatment I'm getting, guys, is because of my background, because of my prison, you know, and I think that's some of the problem as well, you know what I mean? So it's a cross I've got to bear, you know, and thanks to you, I'm able to get this out and hopefully feel a wee bit better. I'm going to go around and see Lucky, and hopefully they're back. I'm missing Lucky as well, you know what I mean? Wee bit of loneliness, I suppose. It's taking me back to being on my own, and the heating breaking down, phoning the council. It's all triggering. It's all triggering stuff that's not good. Like I say, it's been one bad experience after another, A lot of two-faced fakeness. Men and women coming into my house pretending to be concerned and pretending to listen and have a bit of sympathy when really they're quite bad, nasty people. And I can see that because I read people really well. But what can I do or say? You know, they've got a hatred in their heart. Maybe they've gone through stuff in their life. You know, I don't know. But maybe I'm just not everybody's cup of tea. I'm certainly not West Lothian Council's cup of tea, that's for sure. Let me know, guys, how to go forward. What do I do? Do I sue them? Can I sue them? I put a complaint in and I've told them I'm going to be going down some. I'm going to give them a right to reply and tell them what do they think they should do. I've told them what they've done to me. I've explained it all out in a wee complaint. A bit angry and a bit going out there, but it's my way. You know, get their complaint back and we'll take it from there. I suppose that's the best way to go forward in it. Then we'll start hopefully if they show a bit of interest in, I'll let them know exactly what I've been going through. Bit by bit, I'll be able to bring witnesses to them and, other people around me that have experienced, seen what I've went through by the council, It's not right. I'd understand if I was a problem. Yeah, I would get that. I would understand if people were complaining about me. I was having parties, I was a drinker, and I was fighting, or I wouldn't be here behaving like this. I promise you. I'm an angel. They've got nothing on me. Nothing at all. I've done absolutely nothing wrong ever in any community I've ever been in. Yes, I'm a bank robber. Yeah, and yes, I've done other stuff. But as far as the community, I love my community. I love my neighbours. Why wouldn't I? I love my country. Again, I'm Freedom Dad. God bless.